Well, good morning. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. Today I wanted to show you how I cook my beans using the Instapot pressure cooker. So we just love our beans here in our pressure cooker, and you know, every time I cook in the kitchen here, it kind of reminds me of, you know, I think back and look back when I used to watch Food Network. You know, maybe some of you have watched that in the past, but I've watched shows like Chopped on there, and Bobby Flay had like Throwdown or something on there, and so I would learn, you know, different kitchen techniques and flavorings, and I have to say I learned a lot, but I haven't watched those shows anymore since, you know, we adopted a whole food plant-based lifestyle here. For me to watch one of those shows now today would really gross me out, because they bring in these giant fish they cut up, and you know, all the animal flesh that they cut up, and so I couldn't really stomach watching those shows today. But I did learn some techniques and flavorings from them, and so it's kind of fun to share them here. But anyhow. Yeah, I did a video earlier about cooking our smoky flavored crock-pot beans using the Hamilton Beach crock pot, and so, but I really love the Instapot. You know, it cooks them in half an hour, and so it's nice and quick. Now I actually I cooked mine for 1 hour. Now lately too, I've always pre-soaked my beans, but over the weekend I forgot to pre-soak them, and so I put them in for an hour unsoaked, and they were fine. They cooked really good. But what I do is I cook my beans, and then I go down to my camera blind to take pictures for Plant Smart Living. And so the Instapot works great because you can just set it and forget it. You don't have to worry about burning anything. After 1 hour of pressure, it goes to low heat for about an hour or two, and you know, I'm in no hurry to come up and unplug it, because it lets those flavors simmer and marry together. So anyhow, it's really easy cooking beans in the pressure cooker. I just have some organic black beans, and they don't always have to be organic, of course, but we like the black beans, the pinto beans. I've tried the black-eyed peas. They're okay, you know, but I guess one of our favorites, I think, is the black beans. So we're just gonna pour the bag in there. And you know, with everybody has their own personal food or flavor preferences, you know, and so maybe someone likes more garlic than others, or more cumin, you know. So basically what I'm going to do is just, well, let me put in, so then I also have some tomato sauce. This is from our organic vegetable garden, and so we freeze, I think I froze like 80 bags of this from over the summer. And so I'm just going to put in 2 bags of these tomatoes. Certainly you can get the canned tomatoes. They're fine, diced, or fire roasted tomatoes are good too in your chili. We like that smoky fire roasted flavor. And so, and you would want to make sure that you at least have 1 inch or 2 of liquid above your beans. And what I would recommend is, you know, cook your beans at pressure maybe for 20 minutes or so, and check them, you know. And it also depends on how you like your beans. Like last time I cooked them, and they actually ended up turning out a little bit like chili. And so we use our beans. I ate the beans as chili, and also I use them in our wraps that we make. And so some people like their beans a little bit drier. So it's all going to boil down to personal preferences. And so I'm just going to put in a heaping tablespoon of, that's the granulated garlic, and then I have some smoked paprika. Just put in a heaping tablespoon of that, and then some chili powder, tablespoon of that, another tablespoon of cumin. Now maybe, and this adds a nice smoky flavor too. And then let's just go to half a teaspoon of the liquid smoke. Maybe not even quite, yeah, that would be good. Now you might like it a little bit more smoky, so you could add a little bit more. And then, make sure you shake up your apple cider vinegar. I'm going to put in a tablespoon of that. And a couple tablespoons of our hot sauce. Again, near the end, maybe you might want one flavor, you might like it a little bit hotter, so you could add a little bit more. I'm actually going to add 3 tablespoons. I like this hot sauce. It's not like the Shiraki hot sauces. To me, it's a little too hot. This is kind of like middle of the road. It's only like $3.50 for a bottle of this. So we get that at Henning's down the street. And then maybe 2 tablespoons of your, I get this at Trader Joe's. This is whole grain Dijon mustard. And so that's just going to add an excellent flavor to that. And then you also could, if you wanted to, you could also add vegetable broth for some extra flavoring. But at this point, we have a fair amount of liquid on top. We're mixed in with the beans. And so what else we're going to do here, and this is really going to add some nice flavor, is these are Trader Joe's fire roasted bell peppers and onions. And so we're going to add that. It's nice and easy. You don't have to cut up anything. It comes already together in the bag. So I'm just going to dump the whole thing in. Now, you know what else I also add in here? Let me get them here. I almost forgot. This adds some more nutrients to it. I have some barley. So I'm just going to add a handful of barley in there. And also some lentils. Put a couple handfuls of lentils in there. And stir all that up good. I think what I'm going to do is add a little bit of vegetable broth. Since I added the lentils and the barley, that's just going to soak up some more of the liquid. So I'm going to just pour a little bit of that in there. And all that flavor is just going to really marry together really nice. That's the one nice thing about the pressure cooker, is it infuses all those flavorings together. So what I'm going to do is put the lid on the pressure cooker. There's that little noise again. What was it? The R2-D2, the little robot on Star Wars, it sounds like. So don't forget to close the valve, your pressure up top to seal it. Sometimes I forget and I hear it out here hissing, so I got to come out and seal it again. And so again, I'm gonna cook mine for 1 hour. Some people do it for half hour, they're happy with it, but I really like my beans nice and cooked. So I set it for a half hour, manual. It might take 20 minutes to come to pressure. And then I'm going to probably let it stay on natural pressure for natural release for an hour or two. I'm in no hurry, let it simmer together and those flavors marry together. So anyhow, we're going to cook this, and then once it's done, we'll see you back here. Okay, so we're back, and the beans are finished. We, probably took about 20 minutes to come to pressure, and I set these for 1 hour because the beans weren't pre-soaked, and some people may want to do them a little bit less, but I did mine at 1 hour, and then also it was 18 minutes on low, on natural release. And so I just released some of the pressure that was still in there. And so let's take the lid off and take a look here. And set that up there. And so let's stir these up. So for me, the consistency is really good in this. I don't like my beans real dry. You could actually, like I said earlier, you could really even have these as a chili. This is a chili if you wanted. Let's give it a try here. Yeah. My wife and I really love our beans here. This has just a little bit of heat to it. The peppers and onions just add a over-the-top flavor. Easy to make. And you know, we eat a lot of rice and beans here. My wife and I, in fact, it seems like we're always eating these tortillas. In fact, this is what we use. It's Ezekiel 4.4 sprouted grain tortillas. You can get these at some of your supermarkets. I know Whole Foods have these, and Hennings near us have these. But we add rice to this and maybe some cilantro and the beans, and you know, it makes a nice, quick, easy meal for lunch or for dinner. My wife has these most every night, and she's really doing well on her plant-based lifestyle. So yeah, these were easy to make, really tasty, and I would encourage you to think about maybe making some of these. And they're really not that difficult, and you can just adjust the flavors according to your own personal preference. So anyhow, I just want to thank you for joining me today. So until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.